What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos. If you're new here, hello, welcome to my channel. On this channel we talk about lifestyle things. I give you guys some educational tips about life, things that I'm going through. I also share some vlogs with you guys, and I share recently about my pregnancy experience. Now this video we're going to be talking about postpartum, what people don't tell you about postpartum, which is a lot. So if you are new here, then you don't know that I am officially 6 weeks postpartum. So my daughter, yes, I had a daughter, and she is 6 weeks old today. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my experience so far. People always love my pregnancy videos and they want to know about what's happening, what's going on. It has been about 2 weeks since I posted my last video because y'all know, new mom life. Listen, we're busy. My brain cells still not working all the way. So we got a lot going on, but I'm trying to be more consistent now that I'm kind of getting into a routine and schedule with her, and also being accustomed and adjusting to becoming a new mom. So I just want to tell you guys what all has been going on postpartum. These things that I'm going to be talking about is what happened to me. So don't be talking about, oh my gosh, Shalisha said when I get pregnant and after I have my baby, this is everything that's gonna happen to me. No, ma'am, that's not what I'm telling you. All I'm telling you is that these are the things that I have been experiencing. There's some tips and some tricks that can help you make it through this time. So the first thing that I'm experiencing is sweating, like countless sweating. I don't know, y'all. I've been sweating since my whole pregnancy even started, and obviously it has not ended. So the sweating is intense. It usually happens at nighttime, so this may happen to you. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen to you though, because it almost happens to anybody. It doesn't matter what gender you have, it does not matter, it's gonna happen to you. So wear lighter clothes, wear cotton things. That is just a little tip for you. The next thing that I've been experiencing is heavy bleeding. So I don't know if you guys know, regardless if you have a C-section or if you have a natural vaginal birth, that your insides, I don't know if it's exactly the placenta or if this, I don't know. I don't think it's a placenta. Don't quote me. I'm not a doctor. So if you are on here and you know what it is, don't come for me in my comments. Just say what it is, okay? Something inside of you, I think the baby's sac or something, it sheds, and it takes about a month or 2 months to shed. So that's why you will bleed. Some people bleed for months. Some people bleed for just 1 month. Some people bleed for 6 months. I mean, it really just depends. I am 6 weeks and I am still bleeding. I did get my cycle, unfortunately, and it was a very painful cycle. So the reason why I got my cycle was because I only breastfed for a month and I could not do it. I didn't like how breastfeeding made me feel. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I am breastfeeding or did I decide to pump or am I still breastfeeding. So I actually stopped breastfeeding. She got a good month. My sis is okay. Like, honey, breastfeeding does not mean that your child will not be ratchet. Breastfeeding does not mean that your child will be pregnant. Breastfeeding does not mean your child won't go to jail. Breastfeeding your child will not mean that your child will never have sex before marriage. Okay, so like chill on that. Okay, I did what I could, and that's just that on that. So if you also are looking at this and you're a new mom and breastfeeding and pumping is just too much for you, then stop. If that's something that you want to do, stop. Don't listen to anybody trying to make you feel bad or make you feel less of a mother because you don't want to breastfeed or pump. Literally doesn't have to happen. If you want to do it, sure. So since I stopped breastfeeding, my cycle came, and it came on week 5. So like I said, it's week 6. So it came, matter of fact, it was probably the end of week 4, and it was heavy duty bleeding. If you guys know, like the Always overnight pads, if you know how big those are, I was going through one of those every hour and a half. So just know it was pretty bad. Yeah. Right now I'm still spotting. It's been about a week, a little over a week, and I'm still spotting. It's not heavy bleeding at all, but y'all, I was cramping. It was gruesome. It was crucial. When you bleed initially after you give birth, the blood is kind of like a medium, it's like a medium red color. When you have your cycle, it's pretty much like a really bright red color, right? So yeah, basically it's a medium like red color. I knew I had my cycle, y'all, because it was bright red and I was hurting so bad, backaches, everything. Literally, I forgot how my cycle felt like because I haven't had my cycle in like 10 months. So when this happened, I was like, whoa, what's going on? But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not hating that it started because now I can properly track my ovulation periods because I'm not trying to get pregnant again until 3 more years. Okay, y'all, like for real. I know people have kids 2 under 2. That's never been my thing. I've never been one of those people to say, yeah, I just want to pop them out back to back. Not interested. definitely not interested. I need to be able to track what's going on so there are no mishaps going on. Okay, so I'm not hating actually at all that I've already had my cycle, so now I can track it. But just wanted to tell you guys the difference between you bleeding from your procedure or bleeding from you giving birth, and then when your cycle actually comes. If you are one of those people that stop breastfeeding or stop pumping, your cycle, sis, is on its way. It's coming. So people do say that your very first cycle after you give birth is very heavy and it may be very painful, but they also say sometimes for the most part it does subside like your second time. I hope that's my case because I've always had really, really bad cycles. So that's that. Just letting you know, when you have your cycles and usually you have blood clotting, that you may see like little white reddish pieces, and that's basically what the baby was inside of you. So how basically your lining is shedding with your cycle. After you give birth, it's gonna be some extra things coming out. So that's just a little thing, don't freak out. It is just all of that stuff shedding and coming out of you from not having a cycle for 9-10 months. So don't be alarmed. This is me, again, just telling you what's gonna be happening. It's a lot, but it's gonna be happening. Next thing that I wanna talk about is emotions running high, sky high, okay? I am not really a person who cries a lot. And even when I was pregnant, I wasn't like this person to cry all the time and be crying a lot. Y'all, postpartum, like, husband, like, you crying again, like, y'all, be prepared. And I actually did a poll on my Instagram page for all the moms, and I basically asked them, I asked them a question. I was like, were you guys more emotional while you were pregnant? Or were you guys more emotional postpartum? And most people, like almost 95% of people said postpartum. And I was like, okay, thank God that someone is resonating with me when it comes to that, because I'm trying to figure out, why am I crying every 7 days? If y'all hear grunting, my child is a weirdo and she literally grunts. Like, my husband's like, does our kid make any baby noises? She just grunts, y'all. She is just, she grunts when she stretches. It's a lot going on. And she's literally like right down here on this video, like in the mama room. I'm having to stop this video a lot because she act like she want to make all this noise when I'm recording a video, but she was just quiet. You know what? Hold on. Wait, I'm back. So anyways, yeah, I have been crying a lot more often postpartum. A lot of things hurt my feelings quicker and faster. Honestly, on a normal tip, it's very hard to hurt my feelings. Like, what? You really think you can hurt my feelings? But y'all, nowadays, it's just kind of like, gonna pull up because you really tricking me out right now and you really pissing me off. So I'm really getting annoyed and now I'm crying. So like, yeah, bear with yourself if you're postpartum and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, I've been actually speaking to some mamas and they've been saying that it takes their body like 4 to 8 weeks to just get acclimated to like being a new mom and not having a baby or a human inside of you anymore. Your emotions are just everywhere. Your eating habits could be everywhere. Also too, if you are breastfeeding, you may be craving sweets more. So just letting you know that. I've also been speaking to some mamas about that. So if you're craving sweets more and you're, listening to everybody say that you're gonna be losing all this weight because you're breastfeeding and it makes you lose weight, well, that could also be a lie, like everything else. You actually may be gaining weight and you may be craving like more like salty foods and more sweet foods. So just kind of keep an eye out on that. This is just a little tip. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna do like a breastfeeding video on this. I'll just go ahead and include this in here. If you are breastfeeding and you want to stop immediately, I am going to be a very great resource for you, and I'm gonna tell you how to do it, okay? So basically, most people will tell you to just use cabbage leaves. Yes, you can use that, but if you really want your breast milk to literally dry up between like 5 to 7 days, you need to drink 3 cups of peppermint tea and 3 cups of sage tea the same day, every single day for like 10 days. Don't add any sugar to it. Don't add any honey to it. If you want to add honey, maybe add like 1 teaspoon because it's natural. But you really want to get all those ingredients. And I would say do that. So that's 6 times a day. And then do cabbage leaves 1 time for about 20 to 30 minutes a day. And also do that for like 10 days. And it'll dry it up. Now you may have like a few droplets out of your, areola, whatever. So you may have a few droplets come out, and that's okay. Honestly, your breast milk is probably not going to 100% like dry up for like a few months. So if you have like a dropper here or two, usually when I have a couple of drops, it's because I just got out the shower and because my shower is very, very hot. So I guess something with hot water and your breast milk, it just kind of speeds it up and you may get a couple of droplets. But if you really want to 95% do it up and dry everything up, do that sage tea, do that peppermint tea, and do those cabbage leaves. You are pumping, and let's just say, like for me, I was pumping like every 2 hours. If you are pumping, your breast may be a little swollen, but instead of pumping every 2 hours, try to pump every 6 to 8 hours, or maybe pump every 10 hours. Or if you can get down to a pump once a day. It may hurt, but if you really want to dry it up, you don't want to manipulate the skin there, right? So the more that you pump, the more milk that you're going to produce. So that's just a little tip for y'all. I did not want to make a whole nother YouTube video for that. So if you my day one since A1s and you always watch my videos, this is a little tip for you if you are trying to get pregnant, or if you are pregnant, or if you currently are breastfeeding. Another thing that they don't tell you is that, 6 weeks does not mean that you can start having intercourse. Some people are not even rawed up to even have it. Some people don't even want it. If you have had a vaginal birth, you may have stitches down there. Pretty sure if you have dissolvable stitches down there, they're not gone. For example, I had a C-section, so my stitches are still very much there. I still cannot feel my stomach from my belly button down to the top of my area. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to feel that area. So they say you can do all these things at your 6 weeks and all this stuff, but it's not true. And also too, for C-section mamas, right now I can walk a smooth 10 to 12 minutes without stopping, without hurting. Okay. So when doctors say like, hey, you can work out and go for walks and stuff, well, don't overdo it and don't 100% listen to them. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you, because just because they're telling you that you can work out, that does not mean that. Because I'm not going to the gym. Like, I am literally not going to the gym to do a workout. It's gonna be a little minute. And even if I go to the gym, it's probably not even gonna be worth it, because I'm only gonna be able to do like a 15-minute walk on the treadmill, if that. And I don't even wanna overdo that. And I probably can't even walk that fast. So that's what they tell you, but it's not necessarily true. So just listen to your body. So there is a pain right here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually going to go and tell my doctor about it at my 6-week checkup appointment, because every morning when I wake up, I experience like this is getting really numb, and when I move it, it's like a very sharp pain, and I literally cannot use my hand for like a good 10-15 minutes every single morning when I wake up. So of course it could be carpal tunnel, but I never had that before. But that is also something that you can develop. You can develop it while you're pregnant, and you can also still have it when your pregnancy is over, postpartum. So that's another thing. Next, let's talk about baby blues, and let's talk about postpartum depression. Thankfully, I'm so blessed that I don't experience any of these. I don't have baby blues and I don't have postpartum depression. But if you are experiencing some sadness and you're watching my video, I'm so sorry for you. Don't give up. There are tons of resources. You are a good mom. You're not a bad mom. Just because you feel certain ways, that does not make you a bad mom. So I just want to tell you that. I do want you to do some research on the difference between baby blues and postpartum depression. Postpartum depression is long-term, while baby blues is short-term, and it lasts only just a few weeks. So I really want to tell you guys to really do your research on that. There are different thoughts that you may have if you have baby blues rather than postpartum depression. If you need to seek help, if you need a therapist, BetterHelp.com, they're not sponsoring this video, I wish they were, but that is a really quick resource for you to hurry up and find a therapist for you if that is something that you struggle with. So I don't struggle with that. I've had probably about 3 days where I was pretty sad, but it wasn't anything that was related to me having a baby. I think that wasn't what it was, which kind of brings me to my next topic. When it comes to things they don't tell you about postpartum depression, you can develop really bad anxiety with postpartum, and people don't tell you about it. For example, for the first few weeks of my postpartum experience and journey, I was thinking some really bad thoughts, to the point, not about myself, not about harming myself, but it was really to the point where I thought something bad was just gonna happen to my baby. Like if I was walking downstairs with my baby, the first thing I'm thinking about is, oh my God, I hope I don't drop my baby. Or what if somebody kidnaps my baby? Or, just so many bad things that I was thinking about, and it would scare me, to the point where I talked to my husband about it, and I talked to one of my friends about it, and I did research about it. It's actually a symptom, and it's something that happens in about 8 to 10 women, and it's very common, and it really calmed me down because it made me feel like I wasn't going crazy, because I would just think, oh my gosh, like, okay, if I'm walking down the street with my baby, what if a car runs over her or me? Like, that is literally what I was thinking about every single day, multiple times of the day. And it's pretty unhealthy to think about, but it's also very calming and soothing to know that this happens. Like, a lot of moms think about this. I mean, back in the day, they didn't have actual titles on what these things were that we were experiencing. So it's just so nice to have Google, and it's so nice to have all of these resources to really research what's going on with your brain cells, what you're thinking about during postpartum. It's really a lot. So if this happens to you, no, you're not going crazy. It's normal to think about. Another thing that can happen to you, it has not happened to me, crossing my fingers, I'm gonna say yet because I'm still very new postpartum, is hair loss. Okay, like your edges gone, hair gone. You know, some people experience this so bad in postpartum that when they're combing their hair, clumps and clumps of hair is just coming out. Thank the Lord, I have not experienced this. I don't want to. My hair looks pretty healthy. I mean, what y'all think? I think it looks pretty straight. You know, I made it do what it'll do a little bit today. A little cute, real light. Anyways, if this happens to you, I'm sorry, but you need to get a hair growth oil. It's a whole bunch of things you need to do. Drink more water, just research it, y'all. But you're not going crazy, you're not sick, you don't have cancer or nothing like that, y'all. It's just things that happen to you during postpartum. Another thing that can happen to you postpartum is having diarrhea or having hemorrhoids. So basically, hemorrhoids is when you're basically constipated and it's just whole spill. Don't want hemorrhoids, they hurt. So I've heard. I've never had hemorrhoids. Thankfully, you know, after my C-section, I was able to have a bowel movement like 2 days after. Some people have not pooped, y'all, in like 7 to 14 days. Like, that is very common. Thank God, again, that was not my case, but that happens. And also postpartum, that can happen too. So if you experience that, use some natural ways, get you some castor oil or something, but get you some stool softeners, whatever you need to do, hype up your fiber count, go poop, because it's gonna hurt and it's just not good. Some other acne, like really bad acne. Obviously I'm not gonna say my friend's name, but I actually have a friend that basically her daughter is like 3 months older than my daughter, and she developed such bad acne that she had to be put on antibiotics, and literally like it's everywhere, like on her face, her neck, her back, like huge zits, pimples, whatever, pus coming out of them and everything. And the doctor just literally said that just happened to her because she had a baby. There's no other reason why. And she was sad about it because she actually had to take antibiotics and she couldn't breastfeed anymore because of it. So this is also some things that can happen to you. It's nothing that we can do, but it is what it is. Some positive things that has happened to me is, first of all, I don't have a kid inside of me. So that's great. I no longer weigh 215 pounds from being pregnant. So I feel a lot lighter. My skin is clearing up. I'm not really that discolored anymore. Like I was telling you guys in my other videos, I was dealing with really bad discoloration, and that just comes with the territory, y'all. I mean, I do have some stretch marks. I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, because most of my stretch marks are the color of my body. I do have stretch marks on my stomach, and guess what, guys? I don't care, because I'm happy and I'm proud to have stretch marks, because that just shows that I was able to have a baby. It just kind of is what it is. And for all of you guys who are asking me about my mental health journey and how I'm doing postpartum, I am doing really good. There are some things, of course, that I want to change about my life right now that has nothing to do with being a mom, nothing to do with taking care of my child, but some things I just can't fix right now, and that's okay. But I am doing amazing. And my support system, my friends who are mothers, I love you guys so much. You know, there are just so many friends that I have accumulated who are moms that are really my close friends, and we check on each other weekly or bi-weekly. And I love you guys. You guys know who you are. So again, this video were just some postpartum things that I have been going through. Probably some more things. I'm a little nauseous sometimes too. I forgot to add that. And it's kind of like a first trimester nausea, but it only happens when I don't eat on time. So that's kind of weird, but anyways, y'all, so this is the end of this video. I love you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in to this video. I hope these postpartum tips and tricks and symptoms, you know, kind of enlighten you on what to possibly expect. Again, this does not mean it's gonna happen to you, but I love you guys. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video, because I know you liked it. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later.